This is Sam Tolley with In Him First, where we view the world through the lens of Jesus Christ. We do not view Jesus Christ through the lens of the world. It's amazing to me that many black people are getting ready to vote for Joe Biden to be president of the United States. And it seems to me that the only reason why they're voting for Joe Biden is because they're told to. Because many of them are loyal to the Democratic Party. Unfounded loyalty, that is, as Wayne Perryman stated in his book. Because actually it makes no sense. Donald Trump has done more for black people in the last 47 months than Joe Biden has done in the 47 years he's been in Washington. And this very year, Joe Biden said that if you don't know the difference between him and Trump, then you ain't black. I mean, that's bad enough. That harkens back to his racist past. The same guy that said, they're going to put you all back in chains. And see, many black folks took that to mean Republicans without knowing or without realizing, in fact, that it was the Democrats that had us back in chains. Those of our ancestors back in the slavery days. The same Joe Biden that said that, he was surrounded by a bunch of black kids around a pool talking about, I had to know about roaches and I like kids sitting on my lap. I don't know what the heck that was supposed to be. This same fellow that said, I think he said poor kids are just as smart as white kids, or you have to have a slightly Indian accent to go into a Dunkin' Donut, and that he didn't want his kids growing up in a racial jungle. This guy that was vice president to what a whole lot of black folks thought was going to be the ultimate savior, Barack Hussein Obama, who did absolutely nothing for black folks except for cast us along with everybody else into a menagerie of confusion and help destroy marriage. This Joe Biden, he hasn't done anything. The only significant thing he's known for is this 90s crime bill that put many black folks in jail. And as a running mate, he got Kamala Harris, or I call her the chameleon, and people want to argue about how you pronounce her name. I don't care how you pronounce her name. The woman is a lizard. This woman put many black folks in jail over petty stuff, over marijuana, and then she has the nerve running for president brag about smoking marijuana while listening to Tupac and Biggie Smalls in college. And she's such a liar that, in fact, they weren't even recording yet when she was in college. All these people, they pander to black folks. They promise everything, and then they talk about how the Republicans are great liars. How Republicans are evil, especially Donald Trump. And that really blows my mind. Because if Donald Trump was as evil as they claim he is, how come nobody ever said anything about it before? How come Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, Oprah, Muhammad Ali, everybody who was anybody used to hang around with him? Why wasn't he, talked about like a dog way back then when he was giving black folks money all the time? He only became evil when he decided to run for president as a Republican. But the record, we should focus on the record, and the record speaks for itself. Where historical black colleges had to beg for money every year, Donald Trump said, look, I'm going to fully fund you for the next 10 years. He gave them a guarantee. Donald Trump put millions of dollars in black and brown communities, creating opportunity zones so businesses can grow up out of those areas, and people can have self-respect and dignity by working instead of sucking on the government's mammary gland like Obama had them doing. Give them an Obama phone and a EBT card and let them get loaded with the marijuana and then just live while their kids go to worthless schools and their kids go to private schools. It's ridiculous. We shouldn't live that way. And we shouldn't have to live that way. And we shouldn't have to go every 4 years, wait for some Democrat to come up there and talk about how much they love black people. And then we have this fellow, Joe Biden, talking about how much he's going to take care of us. If he's been in office for 47 years and hasn't done anything, why should we expect him to do anything now? I mean, it's ridiculous. But the news media want to say Trump is a monster and Joe's great. The news media, they are the enemy. They are the propaganda arm of the Democratic Party. If you really want to know what's going on, you watch what these jokers say and do. Donald Trump wants to give every parent school choice. You can take the money and put your kid in whatever school you want to. Donald Trump lowered taxes so businesses came back and people were getting jobs before this virus thing came in. And as far as him killing 200,000 people, that's nonsense. He shut down the borders from going to China or China coming here or Europe. And at the time, Joe said it was the wrong thing to do. The news media is in the pocket of the Democratic Party because they're all together. They want to keep a permanent underclass. As long as they have a permanent underclass, then they are the upper class. Their children go to private schools while many of our children go to non-performing schools. So when their children graduate and take over jobs, their children can take over for them. Be that upper class, where our children are the lower class. And see, Trump, he didn't go for that stuff. He wanted to drain the swamp. He didn't need the money. Matter of fact, he give away every dime that he collects in salary. And he doesn't owe these people anything. He wants to do what's best for the American people. Joe Biden, from what I can tell, wants to do what's best for Joe Biden and his family. They always scream about Donald Trump's tax returns. Joe Biden's tax returns are the tax returns we really need to see. This is Sam Tolley, and I'm out.